Welcome back to my shop. I know it's been a long time since I made a video. Me and my wife both were sick for a little over a month. Know whether we had a cold or the flu. It wasn't COVID, but it was nasty. It took us out for a little over a month. And I had things to do around the house, a lot of stuff I needed to attend to. In the yard, shop maintenance, and then my wife wanted a birdhouse, so I built two. My wife bought a real nice kitchen knife, folded steel, real expensive, with no handle. Well, having never put a handle on a kitchen knife, I did some of my research, got some cheap knives to practice with, putting handles on. I found out they're not handles, they're scales. And everybody putting microna scales on. Well, I'm going to call them handles, and I'm going to use wood. So I got a picture of the knives I did, the cheap ones. Then I put the handle on my wife's expensive knife. She loves it. My wife had an old cutting board, plain old one-color wood cutting board, probably piney wood. Had a little bit of rotten wood on the edge. It's old. Looked a little bit discolored. So I made her a new cutting board. I got a picture of it. Oh, she said, that's too nice to use. I'm going to give it to our daughter. Clean up my cutting board. So I took her cutting board and cut the edges off the dirty wood. Oh, maybe 1/8 of an inch off both sides. Sanded it real good, cleaned it all up, made it nice. Oh, she loves it now. Now I went to a woodworker's picnic. I won a box of old tools. Now, in case you don't know, you probably don't because I've never mentioned it before, but before my wife bought me a lathe, I did a lot of flat work. I mean a lot of flat work. I did a bunch. I made my wife a big TV stand, cabinet really. She found one, she liked the looks of it. Oh, about 45 inches wide and pretty tall. It wasn't made from real wood. The parts that were real wood were stained to look like walnut. And they wanted $1,000 for it. This was years ago. So I bought some walnut, made her one that's solid walnut all the way. No imitation woods, no stained woods, it's all solid walnut. No metal in it, all wood joinery. Has a piece down the middle dividing it on the inside, then it has a 5th foot right in the middle, so we put weight on the top. It's not gonna sag because all the weight goes right through that piece down to that foot right to the floor. And I put Oriental sliding doors on it for my wife. So yeah, I did a lot of flat work before. So consequently, I had quite a few flat work tools left, yeah. So I got this box of old tools from a picnic, and in it was 4 old Stanley Plains, not the high-end ones, the low-end ones, and 1 old wood plane, a real small one. Now the Stanley Plains were all rusted, but they all had good casting, no cracks, no chips, so they were all worth restoring. Now this is one of them. This is a 110. It's got 2 positions for the blade. So I had to take the rust off of all of them. Had to flatten the soles on all of them. One of them somebody put Bondo on the sole trying to flatten it. I had to clean it up and flatten the sole. This one somebody jabbed a brass doorknob on. So I had to cut it off, and then I turned the knob for it. And it come out okay. I cleaned it up. Had to reshape all the blades, had to resharpen them, of course. And all 5 of them now are good, all work good. This is a low angle, bit of a low angle. It's a Stanley. So all 5 of them were all cleaned up, all flattened, all rust free. The wood one, nice wood, good wedge in it, wood's good condition, no blade. Well, I looked all over for a 1-inch blade and I couldn't find one. So I took a replacement blade, a big one, and I cut a 1-inch blade out of it. Very carefully not to overheat it. Put in it, and it cuts real good now with a blade I put in it. It cuts great. It ain't got much. Yeah, there it goes. It cuts good. Real good. So yeah, I got 5 planes for my collection. While I was at it, I checked all my planes and worked on them. When I made my Kurnoff planes, I couldn't find any thick, heavy blades. Now, there's a company that makes thick, heavy blades, and I understand, I ain't going to say the company name, but I understand they're very high-quality blades, no doubt, but they're expensive, way beyond my means. So, here lately, I looked on Amazon and found a heavy blade. It was rather cheap. Reasonable. 2-inch blade, really thick. So I made another Kurnoff plane for it. And it cuts real good. No problem. And of course my other Kurnoff planes, a couple of them I made chip breakers for and they cut good. The others cut okay. I had to go over all my other planes. I got a picture of all my planes. And then I was at Harbor Freight, I've seen a $23 plane. It's modeled after a Stanley. So I bought it, see what it'd do. The casting's good, the casting's great. The blade's good, chip breaker's good, the cap lock's good. The tote and the knob are plastic and the adjustments are stamped. They're not good brass like the Stanley. The adjustments are a little rough, a little hard. But I flattened the sole and I flattened the back of the blade and sharpened it. Mated a chip breaker to the blade, positioned it. And it cuts pretty doggone good. Cuts as good, but I'd say it cuts almost as good as any number 4 I got. So yeah, it's worth it. If you set it up, if you flatten it, clean the blade up, sharpen it. So that took a lot of time. Like I said, I did maintenance work around the shop. So I've been really on vacation from turning. Well, that's about it. Well, I haven't been making any turnings lately. And then again, once in a while you got to stop and do something else, break the rhythm. So, I'm going to start another little turning, a really basic, easy, open segment turning. A turning for beginners on open segments. It'll be a nice turning though. It won't be, you know, it'll be a good little turning. So I hope to get that out pretty soon. So thank you for watching and come back and see my next video.